Hey, what's going on, everybody? I do not have anybody here. What the living hell? Hey, Yandere. Hey, Jessica. How you doing? I realize I haven't streamed in a couple days. I did my setup to where my big monitor's now there, and then I got the little one here, and then my medium one's there. Ah, hell. Pops. Hi, Pops. Hey, Yandere. You're so incessant for my attention, Yandere. It'll be okay. I promise. You know I love you. Hey, Jessica Taylor, how you doing? Brandon Jackson, how you doing? DMC Productions, Chappie, let's get creepy. Did I see your doll? Yes. You didn't see I put the little the tongue sticking out emoji? Yes, I saw Thump. Very awesome. Would you call it a dolly? Doesn't matter. Very awesome. Alright, let's put this over here for now. Let's pull out some stories. I'm probably only going to stream for about an hour tonight. But, nah, it's something. Let's put this right over here. It's a Living Dead doll. Yes, it's very nice. Oh, the Gaunt Man. He's very gaunt. I don't know if I want to tell stories. Do I have to tell stories? What if I just played a game? Let's see if we can find one. Oh, this one looks alright. It's called Origin. And looks like we can tell it. Only says we have 2 viewers. Let's see if I can fix this. Nope, still 2 viewers. Where's my phone? There it is. So I went and had some Panda Express. I know it's kind of late that I'm streaming. Nah, just goof off. Me goof off? It says there's 1 person watching on the YouTube thing. You're here. Look up Living Dead dolls. Yeah, I've seen them before. I think they're pretty cool. Oh, my tum-tum does not feel good. Alright, well, let's get into the story. It's called Origin. How about I put y'all, like, right there? Perfect. Cool. Call Punchy? That's fine. Other people are probably streaming right now. I probably actually should have looked at that. Let me see. Nobody that I know. Oh, that felt spectacular. We got some green tea. It's good stuff. Call Punchy, Codyson, 44 Mad Guy. Rub his bare belly. Where y'all at? There are a few I know streaming. I'm on D Live. Hey Chappie. Hey Holly, how you doing? You know what I ain't done yet? I think Streamlabs is broken. I ain't put Burt's Bees on. Where did I put that brush? Burt's Bees for your lips. YouTube me. What do you mean YouTube you? I don't understand what that means. Weird. Hey Lauren, how you doing? Hey, there it goes. The count's climbing back up. But let's get into a story. Six now. Yes. Well, I'm also probably one of those 6. There we go. The sound of footsteps was audible in the merchant square. People walked around, buying food supplies and the occasional odd item. I was setting up my wares for the day medicines for the sick and potions to cure pain. I loved helping the people of Florence. Everyone needs healing. No one should be sick. I sold little charms, trinkets for luck, fertility even. Hey, sickless. Fertility, good health, and many other human needs. I also sold little toys for children, for I felt sorry for them, especially the poor, the orphan, and the homeless, who wandered the streets cold, hungry, and sad. I kept prices low so that anyone can buy what they need. If the person could not pay, I would give it the item they needed, telling them to pay when they could. I sympathized with them. I knew how it felt to be in need, and it wasn't fun. My business practices, though, seemed to anger the doctors and other merchants. I was pulling customers away. They would say, all I would tell them was, I'm doing what I think is right, not what makes the most money. Please leave me to my work. I knew it was dangerous to make enemies, but that was the way I thought. Though if they had known how to make my potions from the beginning, they would have met my demise before I could become a threat. You see, I practiced the art of magic, something that was forbidden. I never did anything to hurt people. I was always careful. No one needed to know my secrets. I intended to take my secrets to the grave. But even the most careful person can make a mistake. One night, when I was making a new potion for a child who was coughing up red liquid, blood, I saw a strange glow from the corner of my eye. I looked up to find one of my books glowing in my workspace. The glowing book mystified me. None of my books had done something like this. I opened the book and had opened it to a particular page. It was a summoning spell. Something came over me that night. I began the spell. I don't remember what I did, though even if I could, I would not tell you. I remembered a flash of light and a strange, almost menacing laughter. Then darkness. I woke the next morning on the ground, my head pounding. When I stood, I saw what I did. I panicked. A pentacle was drawn on the ground. It looked like it was drawn in blood. In the middle of the circle was an X. This was burned into the ground. I quickly covered the symbols with a rug that I had rolled up in the corner. The rug was big enough to cover the pinnacle and the strange symbol. Feeling that I was successful, I packed up my wares and went to the merchant square. Everything was going to be all right. That day, all day, I felt uneasy. I could hear strange laughter in the background of the market. I saw a shadow just at the edge of my vision multiple times. I became worried. Did I awaken a spirit that night? I did not know. I tried to act natural, but I think that people began to suspect. I know people began to suspect. This is a bad story. They're not stupid, they knew. Near the end of the day, a group of children came to my stand, asking me for medicine to help their mother. I was out of medicines for the day, so I told them to stop by my home, that I would have the medicine there. What could go wrong, I thought. I covered up the symbols so no one would know. At that point, the laughter started again, this time much louder. I waved it off, thinking nothing of it at the time. Nothing will happen, nothing at all. That night the children arrived. I told them to wait in my living quarters and went and got the potion. I had found the potion, then I heard the screams, dropping it, and rushed out to see what was wrong. What I saw made me freeze with fear. The room had been covered with bloody pentacles. In the center of that same circle, the children looked at me, horror on their faces, for they knew what that meant. Before the people could do anything, before I could do anything, they started screaming again. I tried to hush them, but no matter what I did, they continued to scream. Guards had come soon after. I don't remember what happened after that. I do remember days upon days of being locked away in the dungeon. The strange laughter echoing off the brick walls, driving me insane. What it seemed like a year, I sat in the corner. Hey, Pam. Listening to the laughter, I think about all those children. Why did they not stop? Why did they not listen? They were why I was here, sitting in a dungeon. It was their entire fault. By the time the guards came, all that was left of me was skin and bone. All I could do was rock back and forth, muttering about children and laughter. One of the guards must have hit me in the head, because the next thing I know, I'm strapped to something. A crowd of people standing in front of me, spouting curses and profanities. I was in shock. How could they? When I helped so many of them, the pain started then. It felt like my body was being torn in two. I started to scream. The pain was unbearable. I cursed them back. Thoughts, backstabbing, wretched creatures. They would not help me. They hated me. I did nothing to them, and they hated me. I felt the pricks of pain go through my eyelids, then my mouth. I could no longer see, no longer scream. I felt liquid hit me. It burned. I hated them. Hated them all. Especially the children. Oh, how could they not suffer? If not for them, I would not have been caught. It was their entire fault. I heard something in my mind, the laughter. Darkness suddenly filled the back of my mind. Behind my closed eyes, I saw tentacles of pure darkness. They wrapped themselves around my mind. The laughter became a voice, a horrible voice. Do you hate them so much? Yes, I said. Do you wish to make them suffer? Yes. Then our deal is done. The pain subsided, my vision cleared. It was dark, but I could see. I tried to blink, but I could not. I felt something, but not happiness, sadness, or even surprise. I felt anger. They were still there, laughing, playing. They will all suffer, all of them. But the children will suffer more. Oh, how will they? They will. That was a terrible story. Sorry, guys. I'll give it a 7. Oh, I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah. How you doing, Pam? You doing good? Bedtime stories? Yeah. Oh. Oh, let's check out No Sleep. No Sleep's fun. People wash up on the shore of my island community. It is my duty to kill them before they wake up. The curious case of my husband's missing buttons. These are story names. I joined a new app for working various gigs. They seemed nonsensical at first, but now I realize the terrible truth behind the tasks I was given. Bohemian Rhapsody. The knocking won't stop. Here we go. No idea if it's any good. Oh hell, I need to open up y'all's chat again. There we go. Paste. Paste. We're gonna try this one. There we go. I wonder what happened to my little guy. There he is. Alright. What's good in the hood, DMC Productions? Alright, here we go. Every night at 11 p.m. I hear it. It comes from an apartment that's above my neighbor's. I can predict that it comes from the living room or perhaps one of the bedrooms. Always the same sequence, the same length, strength, the same amount. Nothing changed in at least 2 weeks. You'll probably be wondering why I said at least. Well, that's because I had never paid attention to it. But since I'm stuck at home with nothing better to do, I started to become aware of the noise. I'm still trying to remember that if it's been there since I first moved in. But I can't recall hearing it before, and I've lived here for 2 years now. Once again, you're probably wondering why it took me 3 weeks to write about it. The answer is really simple. A few days ago, something was different. I don't know how to explain it. Most times I can hear it above the corner of my living room. But a few nights ago, I heard it like it was in the ceiling. I know this is dumb and that the noise can bounce between the walls in big buildings, but it really sounded like it was coming from my ceiling. I let it pass, but the next night it felt closer, in the space between my walls and the spot where I previously heard it. And it's been doing that for 5 days now. The same 6 knocks at the same time every night. But now it's swiftly moving down my hall, down my wall. Oh, that's different. Down the hall or down the wall. That's much different. But again, why did it take me 5 days to write about this? You see, I'm usually a rational person. So I thought about the fact that this is an old building. Probably the way the walls were built made the noise sound like it was going down. It eased myself. I eased myself with thoughts like the previous one, the last few days. But yesterday, I couldn't help it anymore. The knock felt like it was in the middle of the wall. It's getting creepier each time. So as a joke to myself, I said out loud, "There's no door there. Stop wasting your time knocking." Now I wish I never said that. As soon as I finished the sentence, the knocking stopped, which sent a chill down my spine, but nothing could prepare me for what came next. A knock came at my door. In any other situation, I wouldn't have thought about it, or would have thought it was some twisted coincidence. But we're currently in lockdown, so there's no one that can be knocking. I quickly ran to the door and checked that it was locked, then grabbed my knife and ran back to my bedroom. I stayed there for at least an hour, silently waiting for something that never happened. I couldn't sleep all night. I finally passed out at dawn, spent all day trying to find an explanation, but I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't know if this is a cry for help or my last words, but please, someone has to have an answer, and if not, at least use this as a sign. Lock your doors and pay attention to the noises around your house. I can already hear it banging on the bedroom door, and I don't think the old lock is going to hold it back much longer. That was all right. Hey, Catbot. Got notifications late? It happens. I appreciate you all being here. If you see the Polaroid 635, run. We'll give it a shot. It's a little bit longer. Boop. Once again, if you like this content, the stories, please think about clicking on those links and voting. Um, that's the currency of Reddit, upvotes and downvotes. And then you can also like give them premium and stuff like that. But anyways, this one's called "If You See the Polaroid 635, Run." I owned a rundown antique shop in a small town with my friend Jim once. We had known each other for years. We were young and stupid enough to buy it. The place was a complete dump, and we got it cheaper than expected. As the previous owner was dying, it had no relatives to take over. Everything was fine for a while. We were earning our money back until he left unexpectedly. I never knew where he went, nor when he would be back, but he did leave a note saying that I should shut the shop and leave right now. However, I had already invested too much into this. Not that that was any good. The outdoors sign had practically rusted away, with the paint around the walls might have been an antique in the shop. Inside was cramped, with years of accumulated junk. The only source of light was a small window in the door and old light bulbs. The floorboards creaked with every step, or just the wind. An annoyance that I had to bear with. Various items had been set up on small wooden displays around the room. Things like old knives, dolls, and even precious rocks. Though the place wasn't the biggest, there was somehow space for the dusty chairs half rotten away in the corner. I mostly remained at the checkout area, which was just a desk with some filing cabinets. Finally, at a lasting memory of Jim, there was a picture of us in the school uniform with our arms over each other, bonded for life. 11 years ahead, I woke up from a nap, realizing that I had drooled all over the bank statements, almost smudging off the losses. A relief, but that would have been. Throughout the day, I had been receiving donated items. I had started trying to figure out what I'd need to move around. In doing so, I'd lost myself in the old picture of Jim and shed a few tears, but pulled myself together when I began to hear a tapping. There was someone else in the store. In the old light bulb's glare, I picked out a man's shadow, standing still as a statue. He was wearing a trench coat and had short, patchy brown hair. It took me a while to actually believe that he was there. "Hello? You realize the store is closed?" I said casually. The town wasn't known for many crimes, so I was fairly confident. This confidence swiftly left when his body lifelessly turned around. The energy of him told me something was off. His face and eyes were worn and empty, and his coat had gashes down the front, like he'd been sliced open by a bear. He stumbled forwards, allowing me to see his scarred cheek, and was falling apart, the rot revealing muscles beneath the skin. His smile was unnatural, like he couldn't feel any of this, or quite possibly he enjoyed it. His arms were disproportionate to each other. They were hidden in the darkness, jittering around. His breathing was erratic, filled with crazy laughter. He was holding a rusty knife. I didn't want to get close enough to him. I didn't want to get close to him to find myself within a 2-inch hole in my chest. Well, I didn't want to look at his face much longer. That smile made me shake. I tried to remain confident, but could only weep out, "Sir, please leave." My thoughts go into Jim's note. These few minutes I had left to think to myself, did he know that this day would come? That I would be murdered here? I just quivered, felt his dead eyes pierce into me. The floorboards creaked slowly, getting closer. I froze, not even having the slightest ambition to look. All I did was accept the inevitable. The door slammed out and I could breathe again. And he was gone. Was it a trick? I bolted the door shut with every lock that I can find and didn't feel like it was enough. I slumped down to the dusty chair. All of my energy was gone. Him returning terrified me. Still, I drifted to sleep, worn out by the rush of adrenaline. I woke up screaming the next morning. That smile followed me into my dreams. I hoped it was all a dream, but fortunately, things were the same. I laughed almost as crazy as the guy last night. I noticed the knife hadn't been touched. Two unfamiliar were left on display, note and a camera. Picking up the note, I read, "Here's a Polaroid 635. Be careful with it." Be careful with it? Was this the manic guy in the store, what he was up to? I dropped the note and moved to pick up the camera. It was an old one of those instant cameras from the 80s. It had scratches and dents all around it. It wouldn't sell for much. I inspected it further. Something was slightly hanging off of it. I gripped what I could and pulled it out. There's a picture showing the figure from last night with rope around his neck hanging from the bridge. It was the smile, those dead eyes, which I saw last night. I walked over to my computer and set down the camera in the picture. I needed a moment to contemplate. What's happening? Mid-thought, I noticed that the picture of Jim and me had been ripped. Jim was gone. The camera took a photo of me. I hadn't touched it. My finger wasn't even on the button. The flash surprised me, and I broke down in tears. It was my only copy of the photo, and now it's destroyed like all the other antiques in this place. I need to calm down, so I turned on the TV and flicked through the channels. I picked up my phone and flipped it over. I screamed at what I saw. It wasn't possible. I must be still dreaming. It's just not possible. Turning over the picture, it had changed, I'm sure of it. It was still the man hanging there, but it was closer. It showed more detail of him, much too similar from what I remembered. I slowly realized the difference from before. He was moving. Not that it's because of a different angle. He was pointing to the right, which exactly matched up with the torn picture on the wall. My hands shook like they did the night before. I could almost hear his hysterical laughter echoing through the room. The sound of flashing. Then a second later, printing. Hang on 1 second. Okay. The camera was taking pictures by itself. Picking up the camera, I hesitantly take out this newly formed picture and looked at it. It was a close-up of the hanging figure. Not all different from the day before. No way could this be a prank from some lowlife. This was all real. The camera prints another picture, then another one, and another one. It doesn't stop. Each of them getting closer unto that disfigured hanging body. His face became clearer. I noticed something different in one of those pictures. There was a familiar item hanging around, just around his pocket. It was Jim's half-torn picture. If I were to put the two together, it just wouldn't be possible. I know Jim, and he is not the thing swinging around mutilated like that. I didn't want to say that word. Mutilated like that. He went missing. For all I know, he's not insane. The idea to compare the note that was with the camera to some old documents that Jim signed came to me. I opened the filing cabinet and take out one that we signed for this place. Flipping through the pages, there was extra writing that I didn't remember being there before. Alex, you won't find this until that camera shows up on July 9th, 2020. It showed me things. I had to find out more, it stated. I recognized the writing for sure. It was Jim. What does he mean it showed him things? Grabbing the note, I compared the writing. It was similar. Flipping to the next page, and across it said, "You're going to die." I stared at these words for a minute. With everything else going on, this wouldn't be far from unbelievable. I had gotten all I needed to know from it, and I sat there pondering. I heard the printing sounds again, and I dreaded to know that it would not show me what it would show me this time. I couldn't ignore it. I felt myself compelled to know what it had to show me. I laughed, and it echoed around the room. It was labeled with the words, "Become." It foretold where the rusty knife should be, but it was missing. I checked all over for the knife. I checked all over, the knife was still there. Another one came out this time it showed me exactly where I am sat right now, holding the picture. The only thing different in it being a motion in the darkness. The last one prints. I have a sickening desire to know what it has to say. Proxy. It showed me who I knew to be Jim, standing with the same smile. Well, was this my fate? Does this camera have the ability to show the future? Jim knew I should get out. This thing must have showed him, but I was too stuck up to leave. Though I can never sell this camera, it shows me things. This camera predicted what would happen to me. If it was anything else, I would simply deny it. But this is too accurate. But the accuracy is too on point. The knife missing, I felt being watched. I know my time is close. I've kept my camera close to me for years now, not letting anyone see it. And I couldn't destroy it. It told me if I were things would be worse. It's been trying to convert me. Every so often, it would print out pictures telling me to do things. I've written this to whoever finds it. If you see one of us, run. It has selected you by proxy. You will see the camera. Don't touch the camera. Don't go near it. Just beg. It lets you go. Jim is here looking at me. I've accepted my fate. I've accepted my fate with, oh, Drama Mama. You became a member. Aww. Oh, wait, wrong one. But nothing says that you became a member. Weird. I'm here, Chappie. Finally, I haven't missed your live again. Hello, Drama Mama. Hey, Kevin. Hey, you like the shirt? Yeah, some guy that owns a video game store gave it to me. He's an alright guy. Yeah, that was a hard story to read. It could have been better. I'm just too lazy to clean these things up. I tried to read them. Let's just chit chat for a while. I've been doing stories. I've done 3 stories. Let's just chill. I hope everyone's doing well. Hey Zen Ginger. Hey Dark Fruit Dolls. Hello Sand Creek. Hello Sleek the Geek. Well, thank you, Zen. It was funny, I tried to go to my channel on my phone. It's playing ads. Oh, that's too funny. Can I subscribe too? I should sit there and watch the ads. I'm gonna just keep closing it and opening it and watching ads. I'm being mentored by someone in California Blues Hall of Fame. Oh yeah? Mentored in what? What are you going to be doing? Is it Eric Turner? Or Johnny Stachila? Or Eric Pinata? Ernie Pinata? Ernie Pinata? The name just isn't... Daryl Mansfield? I don't know. I'm just saying names now. Well, that's awesome. I have like 50 phones running your video at the same time. That would be awesome if you had 50 phones running my video. And Terry's always watching. And singing and piano lessons. I'm joining his blues group as the first female singer for it. Awesome. Hey, Lady Griffin. That's good. Oh, see, I hadn't gotten that low. I'll have to check him out. Let's kick ass. I'm proud of you. How's everybody else doing? Hopefully you're all well. You should post some music, Mama. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I gotta make sure when I see hair, I throw hair away. I just cleaned my carpets, and the amount of hairballs that the carpet cleaner wouldn't clean up, just what it wouldn't clean up. Never mind what it did clean up. Oh, it was ridiculous. And there's hair all over my desk. Dog hair, people hair. Anybody here got the C virus yet? I hope not. Me too. I will soon. We're having a live stream coming up on the 18th. Well, awesome. You should join the Discord and give us the details. Yeah. I'm sure your father would be very proud of you. Dark Fruit Dolls is doing quite well, actually. Oh yeah, why quite well? Did you get laid or something? I'm not here to, you know. My vape just started working out of the blue. Maybe it's haunted, I don't know. Well, let's see if we can find... You need a link for the Discord. I think I can do that. I think it's in the description. But... Bam! I used to think my reflection was my guardian angel. Now I'm terrified of it. I wish I'd listened when they told me not to touch. Hindsight, you know? Well, no, I just found ways to think about the fact that I'm not less. What do you mean that you're not less? Oh, that's a long one. But we'll give it a shot. It's a series, so if y'all like this one, we'll have to read more of it. We have been stationed on the moon since 1988. There's a reason it's been kept secret. Not to think about the fact I'm not getting laid. I meant. Oh. Well, here it is. We've been stationed on the moon since 1988. There's a reason it's been kept secret. By Richard Saxon. Look again at the dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everything you love, everything you know, everything you've ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives, the aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Carl Sagan. After they firmly strapped us in, it took a moment to relax and enjoy the final minute of Earth's gravity before takeoff. The rookie in the seat next to me looked worse for wear, with pearls of sweat covering his pale face. He'd seemed so excited only moments before, but I couldn't blame him. The little blue planet had been his home, and now he'd leave it, never to return again. First time in space, right? I chuckled, trying to keep the mood light. He nodded, his eyes still fixed at the control panel in front of us. I'd like to tell you that the acceleration would knock you clean out, but that ain't the case. Lying in that position, blood is basically forced into your brain. You'll be awake for each bump on the road, I said cheerfully. That little tidbit of information seemed to break his trance. He looked over at me and cracked a weak smile. Wait, where'd it go? He looked over at me and cracked a weak smile. I could have given him words of comfort, or told him it wasn't that bad. But from experience, I knew that facetious humor would best aid our journey into space. I'm not worried about the takeoff, he said. It's just the magnitude of it all, you know? The countdown sequence started, and I braced myself while the rookie desperately tried to control his breath. 10, 9, 8. Time to say goodbye, kid, I yelled at him. 7, 6, 5. Don't listen to him, the pilot said. You'll love it once we break for the Earth's atmosphere. 4, 3. Here we go, the rookie mumbled to himself. 2, 1. The shuttle shook violently, rocking us back and forth in our seats. The rookie kept his eyes firmly shut in anticipation, with his arms firmly clenched on his armrests. Before long, our spaceship had taken off from the ground and started shooting up towards a vast sky above. It was a slow start as the engines worked their way towards maximum acceleration. It was an intense feeling of both horror and excitement as our bodies tripled in weight, firmly locking us in our less than comfortable chairs. From takeoff to space itself, about 9 minutes would pass. Each one would feel like an eternity on its own. As the shuttle accelerated from a standstill to 17,500 miles per hour. Observer, have you cleared the tower? Launch control notified us over the radio. Observer, you have cleared the tower. Sorry. Observer, you have cleared the tower. Launch control notified us over the radio. Appreciate the info. I didn't even realize we'd started flying, the pilot joked as he looked over the control panel, making sure none of the warning lights had greeted us with their flashing alarms. As far as the works on the ground were concerned, we were on a routine mission. According to any official document, we'd be staying a week in space before dropping back to Earth, landing gently in the massive deserts of Kazakhstan. In reality, our mission would take us much further away from home, and years would pass before any of us had the pleasure of returning. What followed were 5 minutes of intense shaking. If I hadn't known better, I would have believed we'd been thrown in the dryer, as clothes rumbling around in circles. I wondered what kind of unexpected bruises they'd find on me once they'd reached base. The rookie finally opened his eyes, and I couldn't hold his nerves against him. He hadn't seen the best part of the journey yet, the magnificent view of Earth as we drifted away, weightless in space. Observer, prepare for staging, Launch Control suggested through the radio. With that message, we were launched forward in our seats, nose pressed hard against the smooth glass of our helmets, almost touching the control panel inches ahead. A loud clunk sounded through the shuttle As the strap-ons finally detached from our ship, the second boosters were activated. Minutes later, we'd entered orbit, and the three of us finally relaxed while we awaited the third stage. Being free of the Earth's harsh gravity was a strange sensation. As a larger man, it made me seem so insignificant, as if my mass meant nothing against the empty vacuum around our shuttle. It felt like falling, except there was nothing left in the universe to fall against. Total freedom. "Hey Daniel, check it out," the pilot said as he let go of the checklist in front of the rookie. There it hung, gently rotating in a weightless state, only seconds before the third stage would begin, officially starting our journey towards the moon. As we left our payloads behind, the escape tower was jettisoned out. For the first time, we had an unobstructed view of the infinite darkness ahead of us. Billions of stars greeted us with their full glory, without the filter of Earth's atmosphere. We could see as far as space reached. There in the distance hung a white celestial body, seemingly small and insignificant, unknown to the general public. It would be humanity's final hope. We were moving towards it at an almost impossible speed, yet it barely felt as if we were moving at all. "Beautiful, ain't it?" I asked. At least the rookie seemed less panicked. Without the literal weight of Earth's gravity to keep him pinned down, he could finally just sit back and enjoy the trip. "Wow. I didn't even know what to say. It's the most amazing thing I'd ever seen," he said. We spent the next few hours just staring out into space, still not willing to believe that he'd actually made it there. The rookie couldn't even have been out of his 20s, yet he'd been specifically recruited for a lifelong mission on the moon itself. "Tell me, was it worth it?" I asked. "Was what worth it?" "Leaving everything you've ever known behind. To have the company fake your death and erase your presence from Earth. All so you can spend the next decade in a secret base hidden away from mankind. I mean, you don't even know what the job is, do you?" He turned his attention towards me, finishing his staring contest with the universe. He pondered for a moment before finally responding. "All my life, I wanted to make a difference. To be one of the few to ever venture into space, to advance science. When the company contacted me, they didn't even tell me where I was going. They just said I'd be saving the world." He was smart, good physique, and socially intelligent. He could have had a fantastic life back on Earth, started a family, made a shit ton of money, just enjoyed all the luxuries home had to offer. Yet he chose to help, knowing he'd never return. I knew then he was someone I could trust. The trip towards the moon would take about 3 days, leaving us all with plenty of time to properly get acquainted. I had been tasked with picking him up from Earth, and based on the file they gave me on him, He was nothing less than a genius. Sleeping in space was oddly comforting. There's no uncomfortable position when floating without ups or downs, no limps to lie on top of, no need to roll around. Other than that, the trip to the base was fairly dull. The planet we had left behind faded away in the distance, turning into a little pale dot. The base we were heading towards had been named Ares. It was a massive construction on the dark side of the moon, out of view of the people back on Earth. Ares was the greatest creation of mankind, one kept hidden for decades, known to only 200 living people there, and a handful of people situated back on Earth. When there, we had close to no radio contact with ground control. According to command, with less contact we had with Earth, the less likely that our operations to the moon became public knowledge. As we were taken in by the moon's orbit, we started hearing static feedback. Before long, we'd be in contact with Ares itself. "This is Observer 108 to base control. Do you copy?" the pilot asked. "Greetings, Observer. This is base control. We read you loud and clear. Station 7 is ready for docking. Get ready to initiate landing sequence." I pulled out another checklist, with the pilot flickering around the necessary switches. Within a minute, we were approaching the docking station. The landing was smooth, and once the airlock opened, we finally got a chance to stretch our legs. We were immediately greeted by the decontamination crew and ordered to change out of the sweaty undergarments and into more suitable uniforms. "It's been a pleasure, Rick," the pilot said to me as we parted ways. It was time for the rookie's initiation into the system. I brought him to the sectional office, looking for his instructor and guide, Jennifer. "Rick, how are you doing?" Jennifer asked as she stepped into the office. I'm sorry, she stepped out of the office. "I don't see you around Station 7 very often. Just bringing you our newest scientist. Mind if I stick around? Make sure you don't go too hard on the kid?" She smiled and gestured for both of us to follow her through the narrow halls of Section 7 as she explained protocols and rules around the compound. It was an impressive construct, a station big enough to comfortably house hundreds of people, in addition to the countless laboratories, workstations, and massive common areas for the large amount of downtime. The fact that it had been kept secret for so long was an almost impossible feat on its own, once that had piqued Daniel's interest. "Mind me asking how and why this has been kept secret for so long?" Jennifer smirked. It was a question inevitably asked by each newcomer. Once she knew exactly how to answer. "Ever heard of the Manhattan Project?" she asked. "Yeah, the race to build an atom bomb back in '39? Daniel responded confidently. 130,000 people were working together to create the most destructive weapon in human history. divided into hundreds of sections, each working on their part of the bomb to be dropped over Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Out of these 130,000 people, only about a couple dozen knew that the project would result in. The rest were kept in the dark, unknowingly causing the death of countless people. That's exactly how the Ares project was kept hidden. By giving each station a piece of the puzzle, just not enough to see the whole picture. I always loved listening to Jennifer's speeches about the Ares project. The look of surprise and amazement as they realized the magnitude of the situation. But one final piece of information still strayed away from Daniel's knowledge. "So what exactly are we doing here?" he finally asked. Before Jennifer got the chance to explain, a speaker emitted a loud, jarring message. "Security, head office, calling Richard Finner. Report to Section 9 immediately." Jennifer and Daniel looked at me questioningly. "Sorry, I'll catch up with you later," I said, as I started rushing down the hall. The act of running on the moon was a peculiar experience. With only 1/5 the Earth's gravity, you spend more time gliding through the air before each step hits the ground. In a way, it feels like flying. You can reach higher speeds than what would be possible back on home. On the other hand, without ground contact, it's hard to maneuver around corners, which is why Ares had been built almost exclusively with straight hallways. Within a few minutes, I'd make my way to the head office. Inside, I found a whole crowd of guards and officers, all frantically trying to yell over each other to make a decision. "What's going on?" I asked. My supervisor, Lance Henderson, took me to the side to fill me in. "Rick, something landed next to Paul Station 12, he said. "It doesn't show up on any of our instruments, but the crews swear they saw it. Particle accelerator weapon, Station 12, was the furthest reach away from the main base, situated near one of the major craters. It was the last set of cannons aimed into the deep space. Weapons so powerful, they could deflect any meteor getting too close to Earth." "What are they saying about it?" "We don't know. We lost contact with them not 15 minutes ago. I need you to take a team out of the station and find out what the hell's going on." I made my way to the hangar, a massive structure situated partially underground, doubling as the main oxygen production facility. The moon's crust is naturally rich in oxygen, and by converting the rocks, we effectively produced and maintained an atmosphere within the station. 3 of my colleagues, Derek, John, and Patrick, met me by one of the buggies, all wielding rifles. It wasn't a large team, but with the few trained guards we had at the station, the rest would stay behind. If something happened to us, the protocol was to lock down the entire Ares facility and abandon anyone trapped in the smaller station. "Station 12 is the buggy zealot. Do you copy?" John kept repeating as he endured the uncomfortable hour-long trip. It felt like an eternity passed before we reached the station. It was a large construct with a particle weapon tower up from the ground, staring off into deep space. In front of the station lay a large diamond-shaped rock covered in what looked like massive blisters. some of which had ruptures. "What the fuck is that thing?" John asked. "I don't know, but keep your weapons ready." There were still 2 buggies parked outside the station, meaning that the crew couldn't possibly have left. "Station 12. We are entering through the main airlock. Get ready for boarding," I said as we manually unlocked the front gate. We kept our helmets on, even as the airlock was pressurized, and we could breathe. We didn't know what to expect on the other side, so we had to be ready for a quick escape. We stopped dead in our tracks as we took our first steps inside. There was no floor. Lay the entire crew of Paw 12, dead and mutilated to various degrees, with no sign of other creatures. It didn't look like monsters had come in to murder the crew, but as if they had simply decided to kill each other, using whatever they could find as weapons. Some of their wounds were created with surgical precision: slit throats, stabbed heart, or crushed skull. With others were more morbid, as if they had taken their time to finish the kill. The only discrepancy among the murdered was the man zip-tied to the wall in a corner, some distance away from the others. While his neck had been stabbed, it didn't look like any major vessels had been injured. As I bent down to examine the tied-up man, he suddenly jolted awake, screaming in horror. "No, stop it! Get out! I don't want to!" I grabbed him in an attempt at keeping him still, worried he might exacerbate his injury. "Calm down, you're safe," I kept repeating. His fear quickly turned to despair as he noticed the corpses littering the floor in front of him. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to," he cried. I grabbed a sedative out of my kit and injected him through his port, hoping he'd remain conscious, but at least calm enough to relay what happened on board the station. I read the name on the suit: Frederick. "Hey, Frederick, look at me. I need you to tell me what happened here." He calmed down a bit following the injection. Then he looked carefully around the room, as if he was recounting the events that had transpired. "I tried to kill myself. I don't know why. I didn't want to, but the voices, oh God, the voices, they just kept telling me I had to do it. They were so loud, so fucking loud. My team, they pinned me down and tied me up. But it didn't help them. I'm so sorry." He skulked, still breathing, still breaking down. I looked back at the dread crewmen littering the floor. If they had managed to tie him up before he died, then how'd he kill them? What about the others? They just started killing each other. But it wasn't them. The things, they changed him. They made them do it. His rambles were only semi-coherent, but the last statement piqued my morbidity, my morbid curiosity. "Who?" Fuck the things. They came from the vessel. I didn't even see them, but they were there. They got inside our heads, made us do it. I'm sorry, please. You gotta believe me. Oh God, he started rambling for a couple of minutes. I gestured for Derek to put him to sleep. He could only make things worse by panicking. If we stood even the slightest chance of bringing him safely back to the station, he had to be put out. Don't worry, Frederick. We'll get you out of here, I promise. Within a minute, he was out. We brought in a stretcher to carry him out. The rest of the crew was a lost cause, too destroyed to even find their suits. We had no choice but to leave them behind. We boarded our buggy and immediately got out of the transition from main base. Buggy Zealot, do you copy? Yes, we made contact with Station 12. There are multiple casualties. We're bringing back a survivor. Prepare medical bay. Buggy Zealot, we've lost contact with Stations 4, 6, 8, and 9. We're reading multiple heat signatures on the surface. Return to Ares immediately. Wait, what the fuck's happening? There was a brief pause while I waited for the next transmission. Ares? You there? Then they said words that I had dreaded the most since I was assigned to this project. A simple sentence that I thought was years away from ever coming true. They're here. So, there you go. That's that story. Hope y'all like that one. I would be interested to find out how the LSD treats you while listening to my stories. And I sure would like to find... Where did I put it? I have a mustache brush that I love dearly to brush my mustache. It feels nice. But it comes and goes. Oh. Gotta reset my my vape here. You really like that one? Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good one. Oh. Where's that damn brush? I cleaned up my room, so there's no more stuff around. There's still stuff in that corner, but my desk is all clean. I'm all happy about that. And I sure would like to find that little brush. I got razor blades. There it is. Found it. Please read stuff about the Hat Man now. I don't know who the Hat Man is. That just feels nice. We're gonna brush it down. It's my Wilford Brimley mustache. Please read stuff about the Hat Man now. Who is the Hat Man? I've been on LSD 40 Ho You. It makes story come to life. Jay's beta room. What's wrong? I've been to LSD for TOU. It makes story come to life. That's how you read that. What's going on, Jay? How you doing, bud? A visitor. Dun dun dun. Hey, Samantha. I'm gonna drill a little hole in this and then hang it from my keychain. Let's brush the hair. This will take for fucking ever. This will be a 2-hour stream of just me brushing my hair. Oh no, I'm ripping it all out. I'm gonna stop. This is a mustache brush, not a hairbrush. Yeah, I'm glad you like that one, Holly. I like that one too. It's gonna be a series. Hey, Mama. How you doing? We got drama, Mama, and then my Mama. Oh, a little comb. Yeah, it's a little big comb. It's a big comb now. So if y'all like that story, here's the link. It's got about 40,000. Is it 40,000 or 4,000? There's a big difference. 4,800 votes. So, I mean, upvote it if you'd like. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it. And I'll get an update when there's an update. I hope everyone's doing good. There we go, close that. There we go. Let's have a veggie roll. It's not a chappy stream unless I'm eating something on it, right? No, I had. There we go. Hey, Helly. Long time no see. You're doing great. That's awesome. Publicly feigning for Chappie ASMR of Hatman to feed my current paranoid obsession. Yeah, Kevin gave it to me. I like it too. It's a good shirt. I got a message. Awesome. Yeah. Looks like that's all the stories. We've already been going for about an hour and a half. That doesn't mean the stream has to be over yet. So, I don't know if y'all like to know this, but I got a new toy. Actually came in this box. Here it is. It's a HDMI capture device. It's really light. And it doesn't do audio. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get audio from my headset to my soundboard here. Might have an idea. I have one of these things. Boop. Ellie, where you been? A long time no see. Mama, I hope you're having a good night. And Drama Mama. Hat Man. I don't know what you mean by Hat Man. Let me see. Oh, look at him. I mean, this good looking fella. How does this make you guys feel? Yeah? Oh, it's gonna be a Hat Man documentary official trailer. Dude, documented cases of pure evil. Have you seen this man? He looks like a lizard person. I found your Hat Man. There he is. He's a lizard person. In fact, he's a Goomba. Does anybody remember that from... Aww. Aww. Oh, that's much better. I swear to Allah, saw him before my dad and Aunt Cara died. That's terrifying. What the hell is that? Ow. Oh. If I see him, I'm not worried. No, ha ha ha, yes, I remember. What do you remember? Is he a shadow person or is he Hat Man? I'll read a story about that tomorrow. But I'm thinking I might go for a smoke. I don't know. I remember the Goomba. I remember. Lame. Should tonight. Oh, telling me to read the stories. I'm gonna have to sift through a few. We've talked about shadow people before. Or I guess I should make my own channel. I mean, do what you gotta do. Great, now if I see him, I'm gonna... I think I found your hat, man. How does that make you feel? Is it unsettling, seeing him in full light? He's terrifying. You should be afraid. You should be very afraid. Yeah, I'll have to do, oh dear, I've become uncomfortable. Hey, check that out. Oh, it's not a gift, though. Hang on, we could fix this. What did it save as? 142. Hang on a second. There you go. No. Oh. Yeah. Anyways, I think I might get out of here, guys. It's, what is that? That's new. Oh, I was playing outside earlier. Yeah, so I'll do a stream much earlier tomorrow, I promise, guys. Sorry about the late night stream tonight. And I don't want to encroach on anybody else's time. Maybe we'll play some Resident Evil tomorrow and test out this capture device. Huh? Huh? Fuck my life. That damn game. But yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. Do something like that. I should be getting my mini HDMI soon too. Let me see. Sunday. The fuck? What the f? It's only like $5. $4.49. Well, whatever. I'll have to wait to be able to use better cameras. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. It's about 10:45 my time. I'm gonna try to take some Advil PM, drink some milk or something, and try to head to bed. My sleep schedule's been jacked. I've been going to sleep about 4 or 5 in the morning and waking at 2. And that's like not me being on the computer. I'll be on the computer till like midnight or something and then lay in bed for 4 or 5 hours. It's really terrible. But if I do stay up, probably end up streaming some No Man's Sky, in VR or something, while I test out my audio. Hey Dan. I'll probably go on D Live for a little bit. Blessed, beach happy. God, I hope so, because I need to find another job soon. I did apply at a bunch of places today. We'll see how the market is, for this coronavirus. Can't say I'm excited about it. But, yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah. Well, Miss Helly, hit me up on Discord. Stop picking. I'll never stop picking. I can't stop picking. Yandere, I can't. It's in my nature to pick. Oh, now I messed up my hair. It got itchy. Oh. Damn. Oh, that was weird. Now my mustache is being all weird. Whatever. Yeah. So I'm just being kind of ridiculous, guys. It'd be okay. I hope so. Hey Dan. Okay, Mr. Tweezers. I don't use tweezers. We do. I miss you. Yeah, so if I do decide to go back live again, it'll be on D Live. And feel free to check that out. I guess I can post my link on there. I'll definitely be posting it in the Discord when I go live. But no. Good. I don't want to see Peachy Perp. There we go. That's my D Live right there. But we might play, some No Man's Sky or something. Something light. Kind of airy. I can't stop playing with things. I wonder if I can screw that into that. I sure can. I won't get very much far. Very much far. My English is damn good. Me fail English, that's impossible. But yeah, guys. So check me out on D Live. And yeah. I'm gonna get out of here. Like I said, I'm gonna try to fall asleep soon. Within the next hour or two. Yeah. So alright. I enjoyed the stories, and if you enjoyed the stories, are you going live now? Well, give me a chance to test if it works while I'm at work, like a squirrel. No, I'm not gonna go live now. If I'm still up, like, I don't know, later. So I'm gonna try to fall asleep if I can. Ha! Ba! Oh, Dan. Yeah, probably not yet. I'm gonna try to fall asleep. If I can't, I'll be up. And we'll give this device a proper shakedown. And I think this one wants to go out. So, alright guys. Thank you for being here. Like normal, I'm just gonna play music for a while. So y'all can chill out in here and listen to music. Alright.